that these skills that we're going to talk about today are so fundamentally important, not only to your work life, your school life, your development through university. These are fundamental life skills. So what exactly is confidence? So confidence for me is an assurance, a firm belief, it's trust. It's this inner conviction that you know that you can deliver something. If you are presenting yourself with confidence, you can just about pull off anything. This is Tony Robbins, and he is all about mindset. He is the mindset man. And his philosophy is that you tell yourself a story for long enough, you will become it. And that is absolutely fundamental. Let's talk about success and confidence versus competence, because the two are very much interlinked. And in the world of personal development, we talk about this confidence competence loop and how they build from one another. That ability to switch on the confidence, knowing that you've got the capabilities behind you, means that you're going to have an ability to speak out in that room full of people. Really fundamentally important that we build those two things together, build the skill sets and the competency to deliver, and the confidence will come with it.
What's the difference between confidence, assertiveness, and being aggressive?
Oh, good question. This is a personal view. That there can be a very fine line between confidence, assertiveness, and aggression. I think that one can sometimes bubble over into the other, and that is often how you get disputes and grievances between people, actually, because there's a different level of perception. But from my perspective, all of that can be avoided by building that skill set around emotional intelligence, because that ability to tune in, to being empathetic, to think about what other people are feeling, stepping into their shoes, can be a real game changer, because you can then start to adapt your style. So in some cases, that level of confidence that you need to have a conversation in a room of C-suite level individuals, as an example, is exactly what you need. But if you're talking to maybe some very junior people within the organisation that are new, if you go in with that level of assertiveness, they're going to really perceive that as being probably quite aggressive. So it's about tuning in to knowing who your audience is and being empathetic to that and thoughtful and delivering to that, and actually responding as you're reading the room, because people will, in their body language, tell you whether they're enjoying it or not. With confidence, doing more and thinking less is absolutely where you need to be. We talk about perfectionism. Now, it's important to hold yourself to a high standard. It absolutely is fundamental. However, perfectionism is also a form of procrastination, and that is one of the confidence killers. So you need to start trying to understand how and what you are going to do to build that courage to take action. Upping your game, getting to the next level, getting out of your comfort zone are all parts of the same philosophy, and this helps you build resilience, because once you're feeling confidence, you have the unshakable view of yourself that even if you're in a difficult situation, you can be resilient enough to get yourself out of it, because pretty much everything is figure-outable if you have the confidence.
I've changed career fields twice and want to change one more time, as I have finally found my passion, but I feel I've lost the motivation and energy to change fields and start again. Do you have any tips to this extreme change, as I will have to start from scratch, and it's the biggest risk of all? The safety is comfortable, but I'm not happy where I am.
Oh, this is very relatable for me, actually, very relatable. I think that if you take a step back from that situation that you're in, and you really try and get down to the very basics of the purpose, why it is that you're doing what you are doing, why it is that you want to change that career, why it is that you want to set up that business, and you get into the minutiae of how important it is to you, and importantly why. That is going to be the piece that will help you shake off the fear that you're feeling.
I'm currently dealing with low self-esteem, lack of confidence and anxiety after graduating in August 2020. How do I deal with all this and still be hopeful at a time like this, i.e. a pandemic or lockdown?
So I empathise with anybody that's in that situation, because it's incredibly difficult and it's incredibly worrying. There is high levels of unemployment, and we know as we track into next year, it's probably likely to increase. And this is where kindness comes as a very important facet that will all bind us together, because first of all, find a group that will support you through that, because they're going to help you in terms of lift you up, help you point in different directions. So getting yourself in the right environment and a support network, I think for that is incredibly important, and that will really help build confidence, because you know you're not in it alone. And the other thing I think on a number of levels is incredibly important is that you continue to start taking action and getting yourself into a rhythm and a routine every single day. It's really easy, I think, to slip into out of a rhythm and maybe out of a routine that is not necessarily going to be productive and help you in terms of the discipline of trying to reach out for new opportunities, get jobs, keep yourself fit and engaged, your mind firing. All of those things are really important. So having some structure around your day is really important, and it's very easy to let that slip. And the other thing I would say is that even if you are sort of struggling with unemployment, everything that you can do in terms of a stretch, whether it be volunteering or internships, anything that will help you demonstrate that you are passionate and firing up and still looking for those opportunities is really, really important. Confidence killers are things like what we talked about. So thinking too much about things, dwelling on things, those terrible procrastinations that hold you back, applying too much focus onto what other people think, self-doubt, hesitating, hiding, being hypercritical, all of these things really do build into a feeling of helplessness. Body language is a huge part of self-doubt. If you're curling up in a ball, you're telling yourself that you are not feeling confident, and it will start to literally drag you down. Bringing that energy back up and doing something that fills you with joy, that lights you up, whether it's dancing, going for a run, talking to a friend, but anything that opens up your body language is so fundamentally important, and for not only your mental health in terms of tackling some of those things around self-doubt, but also in your physical health as well, in the alignment of your body.
How can you overcome anxiety that prevents you from having success, whether in social situations or at work?
Oh, well, that's a great question, because anxiety is, can really hold you back, because even in a social situation, if you don't feel confident to walk into a room full of people, you might not be enjoying it quite as much as you possibly want to. I'd always put the feeling of context into the situation that you're going into and why you're putting yourself there in the first place. I think that's the most fundamentally important thing. Confidence boosting strategies. So fail fast. Entrepreneurs do this all the time. If you're in the tech space, they talk about this. They will produce a whole bunch of prototypes, and they will use those prototypes, put them out in the market, and they literally scattergun, see which one fix the market, and then they go with that strategy. They don't worry about the 8 other ideas that failed. They focus on the 2 that are successful. And that is something that you can easily bring into your life. Try something different. Get out of your comfort zone. That's the second most important thing that you've got to take out of today, is be prepared to take some risks. Out of your comfort zone lies the gold dust, and it is so worthwhile getting there. Nothing magical happens in your comfort zone. It all happens on the other side of that.